Please tell me how you can cut my email down. How exactly does this work?
Of course. So basically with Front, we're just reinventing email for the way Teams work. So if you're in a setting where you have teammates, then we should be able to help you. And the way we'll help you is we're introducing collaboration, workflows, automation, transparency, accountability in your inbox. So give it a try, and I think it should help.
So in a way, you're betting your future on the future of email when you've got a lot of backlash out there against email, people who want to get rid of email altogether. How do you combat that?
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, you can hear a lot of, email is dead. I think there are a few things to be said about that. So the first one is I actually think that email might decrease year over year for a personal use case, but if you look at just the numbers of email that are shared in a work environment, they keep increasing year over year. So sometimes I believe that email is dead is more of a marketing speech than actually a reality, because the reality of how work gets done is anytime you communicate with people outside of your organization, and even sometimes people inside your organization, you will still use email. So I'm betting on it, and I'm very confident that it's not going away anytime soon.
So let's talk about the competition, and in some cases, big competition. Slack, which is preparing to go public, Google, Microsoft. How do you take on companies like that?
Yes, so I think Google and Microsoft is one thing, and then Slack is something else. So Slack, in my opinion, is not tackling the same problem as we're tackling. So Slack is really about synchronous communication. So if I need to ask you, do you want to have lunch with me, then Slack might be a good tool. But anytime you are talking with people outside of your organization, or if I'm asking you, what's the status on this project, and I don't want to disrupt you, then email is better. So we use Slack at Front, and I do think there is a use for the two of them, and I do feel like companies also need some time for deep work and strategic thinking, and I think if all your communication is happening on Slack, that might not be the best way. Now, Google and Microsoft, as you said, are doing email products. I think, first of all, they have email products that are not focused on team collaboration, and for them to change their offering, it's actually a hard thing because they have millions of users. So they could launch a separate product, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And if you look at just how email has evolved over time, in the past 15 years, really no innovation happened. So the last one was 2004, Gmail introduced threading, and that's it. So I'm not too worried about competing against, on one end, Google and Microsoft, and on the other end, Slack.
Now, you just released a new workplace efficiency report. Tell us a little bit more about what you found in terms of trends in the workplace.
Sure. So there are a few things that we found out, but the main one is, with Front, what we saw is people save on average 6 hours every week, which is meaningful. The question is, what's the impact of saving time? And what we saw is people find more fulfillment and more meaning in their work. Because if you reduce the amount of time that they spend on low impact things, like triaging your inbox and tagging emails and all of that, then they can really focus on what matters most, which is thinking strategically about their job and providing impact. And I believe that when we think about the future of work, I think what's going to happen for sure is routine tasks are going to automated by softwares. And so the flip side of that is then human beings will be able to focus on what's unique about them being a human being, which is complex tasks, deep work, focused work, strategic thinking, and that's how they'll find more and more meaning to how they get work done.